Okay, so we just covered your branding game plan. What we're diving into now is the marketing aspect. So remember, branding is pull, marketing is push. Okay, that's the difference. So what we're going to focus on are 11 areas that you can grow your coaching business in when it comes to marketing yourself. And I'm not expecting you to know how to do all of this on day one. This is something that you can build upon over the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months to a year. But the key is to get all of this established, test it, right? Marketing is predominantly testing. You can never fully assume. You want to get to understand your market, okay? And this may mean that you might have to poll your audience, right? Even if you have a smaller audience, it doesn't matter. Ask questions, see what your people need, see if there are any sort of pain points that you're not addressing. You can go to somewhere like Amazon and look up books from authors that are in your space that are speaking into specific topics and subjects and niches that you're focused on, and have a look at the review section and see what are people saying that are their struggles. What are they saying that was really valuable for them when it comes to the solutions that they got from those experts in the field. And then you want to translate that into what you create within your own coaching business, and then you want to market that out there to the world. Okay, so the first thing I would say that you would want to have in place to market effectively is you want to build a website. Now, I don't feel like you need to have so many different pages on your website. We can keep it very straightforward, super simple. I'd say probably about 80% of people are not really going to websites. They're spending more time on social media to get to know you, but you're always going to get that 10 to 20% like diehard people, maybe skeptical people that want to get to know you a little bit more. So they'll go and run a search, or they'll click on your links on your social media account, and they'll want to do some due diligence. And so it's good to have a website that presents you well, like a header at the top with a picture of you, maybe some things you featured on, a bit of a breakdown on what it is that you're actually offering. Because remember, everyone's favorite radio station is WIIFM, what's in it for me, and it's tattooed across their forehead. So you want to make sure that you're addressing the pains, the problems, the challenges that they're having, and you want to present that you have a solution for them. And you have to be authentic with your marketing. You can't say that you have a solution if you don't know how to deliver a solution to them. So you got to make sure that you have a system in place, some sort of a coaching offer, something that they can chew on and see, okay, you've gone to work on creating a way for people to be able to get the results that they want in their life. If you can't get results, then you're not a coach, right? So you want to show that you can get results. You can put testimonials on your website. You may, for a little while, spend time sending people to a landing page. A landing page is just a simple page with your offer on it. It doesn't have like the About Me section. It doesn't have a contact section. It doesn't have blog articles and all the other stuff on a big website that you would have on a big website. It's more simplified and focused just on the offer. So you could do one or both. I know coaches that will spend most of the first couple of years just having landing pages and going directly to their offer, and somewhere they build the website and they have a landing page as well, okay, with their offer on it. So whatever it is, you want to show that you are an expert, that you are professional by having something, some sort of a presence on a website that people can go to, okay? Don't get too caught up on the domain name. Obviously, it can't be ridiculous. Sometimes people will sit forever trying to work out their domain name. Just create it, get it going, okay? Make sure it's something that if you shared it verbally over like a podcast, or you mention it in public, that people could quite easily find it, okay? So no funny ways of spelling it or anything like that, okay? The more simple, the better, right? The next thing you want to do is you want to leverage your social media. So you use your social media to connect with your clients, have conversations with them, encourage them to send you a DM, a direct message, personal message. and you can go through a sales process in there. And we teach this in Influential Coach. So the course after Confident Coach, I teach you how to be able to sell. I've got my $1 million sales script in there. I walk you through that, how to be able to have those DM conversations that leads to people wanting to jump on a phone call with you, and then how to sell them on that to bring them into your coaching program or one-on-ones or whatever you got going on, your mastermind or events or retreats, whatever it is. So that'd be very valuable for you when you're ready to do that. And it would be as simple as, promoting on your social media, encouraging people to message you. From there, you'd have to know the sales process, but that's a great place for you to be able to market. Another way that you can market yourself is by running a masterclass or a webinar. To be honest, a masterclass is a webinar. It's just that people got so sick of being sold to, because whenever they'd hear the word webinar and they jump onto like an hour presentation, they know the whole time the person's not really getting to the point to share the thing that they promised they would. Maybe they give them a little bit, but at the end of it, they know they're going to get pitched into something. So then the term webinar started to get a little bit of like a bad name, and people just didn't want to sign up for them anymore. You still get some people that mention webinar, but most people don't want to jump on them now. But if they hear masterclass, it sounds more premium, more higher quality, more like a workshop, So I would say run it like a workshop, an online workshop. And live always converts a lot better. It depends on the system that you have set up. Some people, if they have lots of leads, lots of exposure happening, they can afford to pre-record their masterclasses for 60 minutes or 90 minutes and just have it playing around the clock. But I do know, when we've tested it over the years, that the live masterclasses convert at like 30 to 40% higher. So if you got lots of leads coming in, you can afford to not do it. But I would say in the beginning, you want to do live masterclasses, and you want to spend about 80% of the time on the masterclass in selling and inspiring. Okay, selling and inspiring is a mind frame, and then 20% education. What a lot of coaches do, and I see them make this mistake, is they spend like 80% of the time educating people on something because they're trying to just over deliver on value. And then people are there going, wow, my mind's blown. But then they go, well, I don't know if I want to buy this thing because I already have so much to think about here, or I already got so much. So it is good to be able to educate and share some great value. And at the same time, you got to remember you're planting the seeds and then watering them at the end to sell and open somebody up to an opportunity to work with you. So the masterclass and webinar model is great. You just got to have the system in place. You want to be able to follow up with them, to remind them to jump in the masterclass. You may need to get them to register to an email or SMS. Typically, we just use email, and you want to follow up multiple times before to make sure they show up, because the show up rate for masterclasses are usually nowadays like 20 to 30% at most. So if you have 100 people that register for a masterclass, let's say you're promoting it for a week or two, possibly only 20 to 30 people will actually show up. And that's because people get busy and distracted, and then they think they can watch the replay later. Maybe you want to send out a replay. We don't usually do that unless we really have to, depending on the numbers. But we typically would do it live and interact, and then sell those that attend into our coaching programs, right? So that's a masterclass webinar model. Another thing you could do is you could run a 3-day online challenge. So you could add people into like a Facebook group or a Telegram group or a Voxer group or WhatsApp group, and you offer them maybe 3 days of like 1 hour per day coaching, or 30 minutes of per day coaching, or a challenge where you get them to like build something or work through certain exercises. And then at the end, you offer your coaching services like your one-on-one or your group program. And people like those challenges because they want to be a part of the excitement and energy of a challenge where they can grow and be tested with a number of other people as well. So those 3-day online challenges usually do pretty well. Then you could also look at, as the next option for marketing yourself, is to write a book. And that would be quite straightforward. You could write a book in a Word doc, and then you can learn how to publish it independently through Amazon, or you can go out there and get a publishing deal with a publisher by hiring a book agent to help you actually shop the book around. And your book agent may even connect you with an editor to edit your book. They are usually connected in the space. They know publishers. They'll teach you how to put your manuscript together. They'll work through your draft with you, or connect you with somebody that can. and then you hustle. But you got to remember, with a book, you got to be able to market your book too. Just because a publisher signs you, maybe they give you a 10 grand or 20 grand or 30 grand. Sometimes people get bigger deals, 50 grand, 100 grand publishing deals. Even then, that doesn't mean that they're going to market it for you. You got to market it. You got to get it out to your email list. You've got to, share it on your social media or get friends to share it. And that can take time, right? So you got to be realistic about it. But a book can build a lot of credibility fast. There's some books on Amazon. There's one just called like How to Write a Book, right? There's so many books that are put together. It's like how to write a book in 30 days or 2 weeks. And then I've seen other ones like how to sell your first 1,000 copies of your book. There's lots of books on how to do this. So definitely jump in that. There's lots of online courses now where they teach you how to do this too. So yeah, writing a book will position you with good credibility and authority, because a lot of people say they want to write a book, but they don't do it. I've written an ebook that did really well. It sold over 10,000 copies over the years. I had that on my website, addictedtosuccess.com. But I hadn't written like an official book. I've been so busy with putting out courses and speaking at events and all that as well. So I haven't necessarily needed to rely on the credibility of a book. I personally am starting to lean into that space to put a book out too. So it is a good way to be able to get what they call it like an international business card, right? To be able to get into places that you usually wouldn't online. Because there are some people that are in an older generation that don't read as much online, but they would like to read a book, right? There are certain people that invest in personal growth and business that will go to a Barnes and Nobles or search in the book section in an Amazon store or listen to audiobooks. You could record your own audiobook, like just with a podcast mic, and submit it to Amazon or Audible as well. There are people that listen to that too, that are buyers that will invest in coaching. So it definitely opens you up to a bracket of the market that you wouldn't usually reach online. Okay.